What's up, guys? Reynad back, and today I want to talk really quickly about the new metagame with Knights of the Frozen Throne and a change that I think is really important. I'm not going to make it a really long-winded theorycraft video. I'll just kind of run down the big picture points and why I feel that way. So, there's a problem. That problem is Druid. How do we fix it? We need to move Innervate to Hall of Fame. And I don't mean we move it to Hall of Fame like 8 months from now with the new expansion or when they change the year cycle and Year of the Mammoth is over. I don't mean we do it 6 months from now after waiting for the metagame to settle. I mean, like, this month they should probably just Hall of Fame Innervate. It's always been a card that we've proposed for the Hall of Fame cycle, but just because of the nature of the cards you're ramping into in the game, it was never really an issue before. Druid always remained near tier 1 and tier 2. It was never below that in any metagame, but now it is oppressively good. Knights of the Frozen Throne has made Druid, it's just given it like a couple missing pieces to the point where it's overpowered. Like, the Death Knight is just a strictly good card that you can put in anything, but it's not really the problem. The problem is that now you can play every ramp spell in the deck or in the game, and Ultimate Infestation just gives you this win condition that's just generally better than everything and draws your entire deck for you. On top of that, a couple of the other late game tools like Lich King have basically made cards like Innervate just even more disgusting than they already were. And yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it right now. I think that for the longest time, Blizzard has basically been very scared to make powerful late game cards because they recognize that compared to Magic, it's a lot easier to get like up to 7, 8, 9, 10 mana crystals in a turn. So in a game like Magic, the late game minions just become game winning starting at like 5 mana cost or 6 mana cost because there's like a hidden card disadvantage associated with having to play your lands physically from your hand and stuff. But in Hearthstone, you just get your crystals for free. So the late game minions were always kind of toned down. There wasn't like a big finisher that would just win on its own outside of like Ysera, and that one was slow enough that it wasn't like ubiquitous. But now you have Lich King, which is that late game value card that's just going to win the game on its own if left unchecked. It has taunt, so it's not even bad against aggro. And now you're ramping into this garbage. And on top of that, you have Ultimate Infestation, which just does everything. Which, again, I'm actually happy they printed that card. I just don't think it should be in Standard alongside Innervate specifically. Now, to just throw, I don't know, the icing onto the shit cake that is Druid right now, you don't even know what list you're mulliganing against right now. Because half the time you're playing against aggro Druid, which if you think Innervate feels broken when you're playing against it when it's ramp Druid, in an aggro list, it's just so much more dangerous because with cards like Vicious Fledgling just automatically winning the game on turn 1 against certain hands, or with like a turn 2 Bittertide Hydra just like winning the Druid Mirror, things like that are just very frustrating to play against for one player, and the games where Innervate is drawn feel so different from the games where Innervate is not drawn. So, in my honest opinion, the balance of the game right now is such that basically there's no way that the metagame solves the Druid problem in a healthy way. What I'm seeing right now are just patterns that I've seen over the course of over a decade in competitive gaming, with cards specifically, which is there's one deck that's very, very powerful, and the metagame warps around that deck to the point where decks aren't just playing cards that are like powerful in a vacuum. They're building their entire archetype based around what is good against Druid, and then what is good against the things that beat Druid. So overall, it's a very Druid-centric metagame, and even though it will kind of self-correct and win percentages balance out, it does not mean it's healthy because that one deck is warping every single archetype pretty significantly. So, yep, I think Innervate needs to go Hall of Fame. I don't think Blizzard should wait 6 months to see it pan out. I don't think they should wait 8 months to see it pan out. They fucked up. That card needs to leave right now, and I hope that Blizzard makes that change very quickly rather than kind of waiting for the metagame to self-correct. I think there's a lot of things besides just the win percentage of decks that dictate if it's a healthy metagame. The nature of card games means that the metagame kind of self-corrects. But yeah, if every deck is warping itself, which they are right now, in order to beating Druid, it's just not healthy, even if Druid's win percentage becomes 50% or whatever. So Yep. Hope they make that change. I don't want to wait, a year and a half or whatever it was that we suffered through Totem Golem. But yeah, hopefully they listen. Let me know what you guys think. Hopefully you're enjoying Knights of the Frozen Throne, newest expansion in Hearthstone, Heroes of Druidcraft. And yeah, enjoy ladder, and I'll see you guys next time.